Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Quest D getting deafened over there because he got his monitors too loud. What up, y'all? It's your boy Quest. Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast alongside, you know what I'm saying, my co-host, my man, my man, L. David Harris. NMC.
What up, Clay?
What's up? What's up? Yeah.
Class is in session.
Yeah, no doubt. Class is definitely in session. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. Y'all already know what it is when you come in the building.
Don't forget the other people, man. Don't forget the other people.
Oh, no doubt.
They grown.
Big up the you know what I'm saying, grown and married. Of course. Big them up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Can't forget them as well. Shouts out to all the grown and married crew, man. Shouts out to you know what I'm saying? I went home not this weekend, the last weekend, and got to see some of the childhood homies. You know what I'm saying? Saw Kurt, saw Mike, and Mike's mom turned 80, and I promise you,
wow,
she don't look nothing like 80, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about full, like sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
Full, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Although she's retired, she's, you know, still sharp, still, you know what I'm saying, giving of herself. And the number of people that came from all over the place just to come and celebrate her birthday with her, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
So shouts out to Mike, man, because Mike was the one who really planned the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Rented out a hall, you know what I'm saying? Did the whole thing. Took her dress shopping, got her a dress. I mean, like, for real. It was amazing to see him do that. But yeah, beautiful. Man, she was looking good, man.
That's beautiful.
I was amazed to see all of us there. So I'm thankful for that, man. I'm thankful for her life. She's a major part of my upbringing, if you will. When we were running around, you know what I'm saying? You could find all three of us at either one house on any given night. And the parents would start calling around. They over by you? Yeah, they over here. All right, well, good. As long as we wasn't in the street, that was good. You know what I'm saying? Even though we spent our fair share.
Hey, you don't have to know confessions here.
You know what I'm saying? Out on the road. So shouts out to her, man. Happy birthday to Marjorie Marks. You know what I'm saying?
Sister Marks. Can you imagine?
Man, major force, not only in family but in the community as well. They had some stories they were telling that night, and I was just blown away.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
That's
out to them. Yeah, man. But yeah, you know how we do it around here. As always, one of the things too, D, is we're about to release this greenhouse thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, I'm gonna have to bring them on as a sponsor in a minute. But Greenhouse is one of the, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them shameful plugs, if you will. Shameless, I should say, plugs. Where, yeah, man, we decided that we wanted to put together a community for married folk. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're just a part of a Facebook group or you're part of a Facebook group and, you know what I'm saying? You know, where we get together and have a discussion, Q&A online via Zoom, or you want office hours including, all of that stuff is going to be available. We're going to roll that out real soon. And we're looking for founding members, man. And so if you know, say want to become a part of that founding member crew, just feel free to email me. And I'll just use my Gmail, the jquest.green@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of that community, let me know, man, and we can work something out for you to be a part of that community. But yeah, Breathe University. Let's shout them out real quick. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will become successful, yo. The new year, we're in this is fourth quarter living. We're already in the fourth quarter. And, for those of us who operate with deliberacy, is that the word I'm looking for, D? No?
I understood it, though. I think they did, too.
I'm hood. What you expect?
I think they got it.
I'm going to make a word. If you move
now,
with,
Jesse,
you know what I'm saying?
You know that's not a word.
Yeah, well, when you move with intention, bruh, and you real deliberate about your movements, then that fourth quarter really just means that we already in the new year. We're just getting started now. And so we're starting the new year actually with a marriage conference come February, whatever that weekend is right after Valentine's Day. I believe it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So be on the lookout for that. And for real, as always, Breathe University. Some of you are just trying to go to the next level, whether it be personal development. I don't know. You're trying to become better in your business. Let me tell y'all something. It's always good. What I realized in this stage, D, when you're building something, you can't build it on your own.
Mm-mm.
You need support. You need accountability. You need people who will encourage you and challenge you and give you a kick in your pants when you need one. And this is what this community is all about. Making sure that you go to the next level. So do me a favor, get on your machine, get on your phone, get on your tablet, go to breatheuniversity.com and find out how you too can become a part of a family of learners and learning. Yep.
Beautiful. Hey, well, you didn't ask me nothing, so I guess I had nothing to say. You didn't ask me nothing.
This podcast is being brought to you by...
Nope, that's not it.
No?
Nope. You didn't ask me what was going on over here.
Oh, how could I, D? See, that's what happens when we stay away too long and we get out of our routine.
Mm-hmm.
You see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on the JA side?
Well, life is life.
I knew you was going to say that, but go ahead.
Yeah, we just came off a youth refresh, which is a youth retreat. We were in Manchester
Dope.
for a weekend.
Dope.
And the youth had a banquet and all this other good stuff besides. And
so everybody stayed up there for the weekend?
Yeah. At least 90 people, probably more. And we had worship several times, of course. They had games and stuff. I actually have fun with one game. I don't do games, bro. Not because I think they're anything. It's just like I'd rather watch you. But this game they call hand pull, but I don't know if that's even really the name. It's a 20-foot table, probably about 3 or 4 feet wide, and you use the pool balls, but you line them up within your own arm's reach. You're on either side of the table.
The table.
And you line them up whatever way you want to line them up. And the cue ball is rolled whatever way the opponent wants to roll it to make those balls on like the opposite side go into the little catch right in front of them.
Wow.
But I mean, you're talking about 20 feet.
Wow.
Right? So I actually had fun. I was like, y'all better chill. You better hope I don't figure this game out. And I did. And I started calling it. So, cause there's only 5 balls on each side. So by the time I knocked down 2, I started screaming next. And they were hurting. Like, how you going to be calling next? We got 3 balls on the board. And I'm like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I had fun doing that, which was good. Dope. So I was home. I was happy to get home and get to our own bathroom, our own shower, our own bed too.
Lovely. It's a long ways from 1 by 1, galangal 2 by. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not paying.
It's a long ways from, you know what I'm saying? Uno, false suggestion. Pick up 2. Stop playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, lovely, man. Lovely.
Yeah, bro. I think we should get underway, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry with the other thing.
Yeah, let's get them. So we, in our talks, when me and Dee are talking about, what we wanted to address on the podcast, we actually decided to address this topic here. And it is, if I had to name it, I would name it something along the lines of the status quo will no longer do, or you know what I'm saying?
Just say no. Just say no to the status quo.
Oh, come on, or on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm saying that because I think I'm in this season now, and just in life in general, where what I was doing before or the status quo, it just won't do. I believe that, and not just me, I know there are a number of people where, like, for real, although we're, moving into this new season, I know you guys don't experience seasons down there like that, but up here we experience seasons, as it relates to the weather changing, and now it's moving into fall. In the front of my yard, just roughly about a month ago, all the grass was green, and now the trees are changing color to red and orange, and you know what I'm saying, and yellow, and they're starting to fall, and the temperature's dropping, so I can't go outside in just a beater, you know what I'm saying, and shorts and sneakers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Say, come on, you know where we from. We throw the Yankees cap on the beater. I got my shorts and my ones, and I'm good. And this season that will no longer do. Now I know it's going to be a couple of people who are going to be out there in shorts in 30-degree weather. You could go ahead and have that. That's your prerogative. But I'm just saying that not only are we moving into the, physically into a new season where now we're going to have to put coats and sweaters and scullies on. We're not only moving physically into a new season, we're moving spiritually, relationally, mentally, physically into a new season. And it's funny because I had a conversation with Faith the other day, and we're doing a lot more communicating, but not more of the same kind of communication. We're trying to go deeper in our communication, right? As usual, sometimes as men, just period, we have we're not as vulnerable as we'd like to be sometimes. And so I've realized that I have to be that, and I have to be that in the space of my wife because she loves connection. And one of the things that I've been saying to her is that I want to be your best friend.
Yeah.
And I want to be your best friend, not because I wasn't your friend before, but I'm just saying that where we are going in terms of our marriage, I believe that it's that season. And I feel like God is telling me that what we did in the last 7 years will not, work in the next 7 years. You know what I'm saying? That old stuff is over. It's funny because when I was preaching this weekend, I went to the text. Number one, Luke 2:52, where it says, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man, which means that if he was always growing, and as Christians, he's our ultimate example, then we too should always be growing, always going to the next level. And the other text that I was looking at was, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. You know what I'm saying? All old things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. And I think that this is that season where in my marriage, like for real, that he's doing a new thing. And I realized that some people, are not experiencing what they should be experiencing, or not having the conversations that they should be having. As a matter of fact, some people are miserable, you are disconnected, you are just, you're frustrated. You're not experiencing the things you should be experiencing because you've been doing all the old things in this new season of your marriage. So that's where I'm at with it now. And I'm thinking, like, for real, for anybody who is in any of those places, you're feeling disrespected, you're frustrated, you're disconnected. You know what I'm saying? I would encourage, take a look at your marriage as it relates to the marriage context. Take a look at your marriage. Where are you? And do you find that, you know what I'm saying, you're doing all the old things in this new season of your marriage and they are not working? As a matter of fact, they haven't worked for some time now. And I would encourage you to stop and find something new. But that requires a little bit of conversation and soul searching as it relates to you as an individual, so on and so on. So, yeah, D.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is anything in nature that's supposed to grow that doesn't grow dies. Anything in nature that's supposed to change and doesn't change dies. Right. And so the only thing that I know about, and I'm not a scientist, but the only thing I know about in nature that, is a little, sort of an anomaly on that is the Dead Sea. But even with the Dead Sea, though it doesn't give, it doesn't take. Right. It really just but it doesn't also, neither does it function the way it's supposed to function. You're not supposed to be able to float regardless of what in the sea. It's kind of cool and novel when you're doing it, but really and truly, you know that that's not the way it's supposed to be. So either you're going to die if you don't function in a growth pattern, or something about the way your behavior is, something the way about your life is not going to be it's not going to be expected, and the expectation will be spoiled on your spouse's end. Man. So if you knew 3 years ago, forget 3 years ago, 3 weeks ago, you learned something new about your spouse, or your spouse has been saying X to you for a period of time about how, in our case, she would prefer we communicate, and we ignore it instead of growing. Well, what's the outcome of that? Well, it's negative. Let's start with that. And there's going to be distance. There may be a blow up. It depends on the temperament of the person. But there's definitely going to be distance. There's definitely going to be dissatisfaction with the marriage. And depending on the temperament, it might feel like you don't care for me, you don't love me. Something very simple. But we're supposed to give keen attention to what's simple, right? And that's a demonstration of love, because even the minutest details of our spouse's lives are supposed to be important to us. Right?
Come on.
And
can you just say that one more time?
Even the smallest or minutest details of our spouse's lives are supposed to be important to us.
Yeah, come on.
And so those things are not supposed to escape our attention. Even if we don't speak on everything that we observe, when it's time to speak, when it's time to act, we're supposed to be ready to go. And if our spouses have, spoken on a thing or even shown a different sort of behavior pattern, you can tell, wait a minute, maybe I should have done it this way instead of that way. But then don't address it. Guess what? You're not on the growth path. Status quo can't go, man. It just don't work.
It just don't work.
It don't work.
And I wanted, man, D, I very much wanted to, and I have it too. I wanted to show there's a mindset, and I'm glad that you said it, because what I realize is that there's a growth mindset, and there is a, if you will, a fixed, I think that's what she calls it, a fixed mindset. It's the difference between growth and fixed, the difference between, if you will, broke and wealth mindset, if you will, right? So I wanted to show the thing, but I didn't. I think it'll be too much for me to pull the whole thing up, but I can still see it. But the difference is between a broke and a wealth mindset, if you will. The difference between a growth and a fixed mindset, if you will. Yeah, the growth mindset invests money, right? The broke mindset, right, or the fixed mindset spends money. The growth mindset or the wealth mindset reads and studies. The broke mindset or the fixed mindset refuses to read. The growth or wealth mindset pays attention to the future. The broke or fixed mindset focuses on the past. The wealth mindset, multiple streams of income. The broke mindset, single stream. Wealth mindset thinks big. Broke mindset thinks small. Wealth mindset, net worth driven. Oh, come on. Broke mindset, income driven. Right?
Go on that one again. That last one. Go on that one again.
Yeah. Net worth, wealth, net worth is net worth driven. In other words, how many people can I serve? You know what I'm saying? How many people can I affect? Right? And how can I do this overall, as opposed to, I'm on this job and I'm just looking to get paid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. And not noticing that when you give, all right. The wealth mindset is always going to give, right? The broke mindset is always going to take, right? Wealth mindset is responsible. The broke mindset blames others. The wealth mindset following Jesus, the broke mindset accepting Jesus. You feel me? And so I'm realizing that, as you said before, it comes down to a mindset. And if you can't be in a position where you want growth or you want to go to the next level in your marriage, but you don't want to do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? You want things to change, but you don't want to be changed in the process. you want an end result, but you don't want to put no work in. And I believe, like, for real, those are the people that are going to suffer the most. You don't, I don't even know if in the spirit you get something for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Only when you're dealing with God do you get something for nothing. And you are dealing with God, but you're dealing with your spouse as well. Right. Well, and I know relationships are mutual. Yeah.
And even in that case with the king, he's the nothing is actually taken care of by somebody.
Something. Yep.
It's not in a vacuum. It's not in a vacuum. Like somebody got to pay for this.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's no entitlement here because somebody got to pay for it.
Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm. And so my question is to, like, for real, if we want to really get, move more to the biblical side, like, for real, one of the first things that God told Adam and Eve before 10 Commandments came along and all the rules and regulations came along, the one thing that he said to them was to be fruitful, to multiply, to subdue the earth, to have dominion. That in and of itself is synonymous with growth. Because even that's the first thing he said to him. I don't know what it is to be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to find out. You know what I'm saying? Which means you move from one state of growth to the next. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in your marriage and you are operating and doing things oh man, I got to share this whole, this, how much time we got?
We got 8 minutes.
Okay, good. We got time. So I don't know if you know the story of Kodak, right? But Kodak was a photography giant. They're almost like Eastman an American
Kodak.
Classic.
Yeah. Huh? Eastman Kodak.
Yep. They're almost like an American classic. If not, they are an American classic, right? So I remember there was a conversation when I was doing some history stuff for what we do. There was a conversation between an intern and an exec in 1978, right? And the conversation went pretty much something like this. The intern said to the exec, "We should do digital photography," right? And then the exec said, "That's cute, but we do Polaroids," right? The intern went back and said to the exec, "But I think this is the future. My friends are into it," right? And the exec said to him, "Go back to your cubicle and do your job." And how many times do you see in companies where the execs are making these decisions, but you need to have connection with people who are on the level where the work and the shifting and all the, the stuff is taking place. Like we do what we do here, D, but I always got an ear out on the street. Why? Because I need to be able to relate to what's happening out there because, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right? If I'm in a business, those are your consumers. Okay, cool. So, if we just look at the trajectory real quick. We know that Kodak got started like around the late 1800s, early 1900s. So in 1900, they put photography in the hand of the consumer, right? Around 1950, they were considered the best photography company, right? In the 60s, they had they were considered the instant image gurus, right? In the 1970s, they were industry titans. We're talking about almost a century worth of them just like ruling things. Around 1978, a Kodak engineer created a prototype of the digital camera, right? A stakeholder from Kodak shunned it and dubbed it as quote unquote cute, right? And that same conversation that I said before happened just after that in 1978, right? Mm-hmm. And back then, digital meant experimental. It's very risky. It's not trustworthy, right?
Yeah.
Then in 1980, right? Here's the funny thing. What I know about storms, D, is that God usually gives us a hint long before the storm comes.
Yeah.
The question is, will you be in position to receive the hint before it comes? So that was their hint, right?
Yeah.
1980, they're still dominating, still doing their thing, right? Mm-hmm. 1990s, digital photography came along, right? And Kodak stuck with Polaroids and small disposable cameras, right? In 2000, the turning of the millennium, right? Photo, a new company, released a platform for digital photography online. 2001, Photo approached Kodak to partner with them, but Kodak still wanted to print photos, right? And they were one idea from moving into the next season of dominating in their lane. One idea. You see what I'm saying? For almost an entire century. And they could have been dominating in the next century to come. But because they come on, D, because they wanted to stick to the status quo, right? It was funny because I was asking the people of God this weekend, D, when was the last time you bought film for a camera?
2001. I don't know.
When was, you know what I'm saying? When last did you get a VHS tape to play? When last have you seen a VHS player?
Anything player. Unless it's
anything
you got to use some media to move it from one place to another place physically.
Yeah. So do the knowledge. In 2010, old photo gentrified and became what we know as Instagram.
Yeah, my uncle actually flew for Eastman Kodak out of Rochester for decades. And they had it on lock, like almost like IBM had microcomputing on lock.
Yep.
But at some point, if you don't keep your ear to the ground, if you're not willing to grow, guess what? What is Eastman Kodak doing right now? Paper?
They're bankrupt, bro. They filed for bankruptcy protection in 2018.
Yeah. So
they're still online as a company, but the children of this age, the millennials, and those who are of this age, they don't know nothing about Kodak.
And they ran the game.
And I'm talking about almost a century.
Bro.
We're talking about from late 1800s all the way up to where we are right now. They ran the 1900s, B.
They had their own 747s. So that lets me know that no matter how high I flew last year, no matter how well I did in terms of good relationship with my wife, Simone, no matter how many great memories we've made, if at the point that I have an opportunity to continue to be relevant, I choose not, then I've just chosen the demise of my marriage.
Yo, she's always changing and she is always evolving and becoming a new person, right? You cannot be who she is. I've heard it said before. I've said it a couple times. The person that you're married to is not the person that you married. You can't treat the person that you married or married to the same way you treat the person that you married.
That's right. That all of us change. We adapt. Our lives change. Environments change. Right. So if that's the case, then that means we need to be adaptable at all times.
Word up.
And it's not a task. I mean, this is just the way nature is, man. I mean, it's not. It's we have to actually fight. We have to resist in order to be bullheaded.
Yeah, no doubt.
And unresponsive.
No doubt.
So, Lord bless us, man. We should probably learn from that situation that you described, because I never looked into their history. I know who they are, obviously, but I never looked into their history, and that is telling for potential for our futures. Either we'll continue to be relevant in our own marriages, or we'll go extinct. And extinction is bad enough, but they went bankrupt.
Yo, and here's the funny thing. They presented them with an opportunity for them to take advantage and partner in with them, and it would still put them in position. How many times has your spouse came to you and petitioned you to do a new thing in this new season, and you being selfish and you being whatever else you want to be, and you're not taking the hint, you're going to find yourself in marital bankruptcy.
So I guess, for me in closing, it's the privilege of us to not only grow in our marriage, but for the purpose of contributing to someone else. Because I think a lot of times people say, I'm all right. Well, are you? That's the first question. But are people around you all right? Right? Sometimes it's just so selfish. Like I remember a guy told me when we were in business years ago, I'm talking about young boys getting that paper, man. And these guy was like, because the people we associated with were making a lot of money. And he said, I don't need, and I'll just leave the dollar amount, but it was a lot of money per month. I don't need all that. And I was like, see, that's what's wrong with you. You talking about yourself. You don't need. There are a lot of people around you that need it. So if you make it, then you can give it away.
Absolutely.
So you think about self. My marriage is good. Well, is it? First question. Number two, well, is there a place for improvement? And if there is, then it's going to benefit you, your spouse, your family, and other people who also need the boost for improvement. So don't be selfish and just say no to the status quo, man.
Word up.
Yeah. So I don't know. We could probably say a lot more, but this is probably good time as any to say holla at y'all.
See y'all next time, man. Y'all stay focused.
Yeah.
There you have it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect, and it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.